Fantastic. Well, I must say it is amazing to be here in Cardiff, especially because there's a bit of echo there. A few days ago, the police said to me, what should I stand to make it better? Hello. Yes. A few days ago, the police said to me, if I come to Cardiff, I might get arrested. I'm here. And that is because they say we're in a local health protection area, which means they just want to control you. That's what it's about. Now, we're moving into a new phase of struggle. We have to now directly challenge all their impositions, because if we don't, we will lose. Now, you remember Hannibal a long time ago. He had battles with the Romans, but he had decisive battles where he said, we must get through. And he did. He got through those battles and he beat the Romans. And then when he stood on the gates of Rome, he decided not to invade at the time, which was unfortunate because he lost in the end for not taking the decisive action he needed to in the end. But his lesson of pushing through when we have to was totally important that we have to learn from. Now, can you hear all that? There's a lot of echo, isn't there? Is that better? Is that better? If I go further away? Okay. You see, what we got now is they tell us, oh, there's just a few people dead or dying of nothing, probably nothing, yet we've got to have a lockdown, or more lockdowns. Really, they're doing a stupidity test on us. They're trying to see how stupid people will be, so that when they announce something they claim is more serious, everyone will comply with a massive national lockdown and a new fascism. And we say, no! In fact, that is the only word we need, really. It's no! 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 So, despite what they're doing, we are moving forward. We had the biggest rally in Trafalgar Square this century, just a 10 days ago, which was fantastic, and I know a lot of you were there, and I want to applaud everyone who was there. And there is a lot more stuff happening in London. You've heard some of them, and I mentioned 2 dates coming up after the ones you've heard about already. The 23rd of this month, I'm going to be in Westminster Magistrates Court, that's a Friday, for a test case on all these cases. And then on Saturday, the 24th, there'll be more big action in London. So get ready for the news and join that when it comes. But what are the main tasks we've got to do locally? We've got to be clear, we've got to get through to the people who are being brainwashed now. I would suggest what we do is we set up things like our movement groups, which includes any groups, but we put that as a kind of heading to include anybody fighting the COVID con in whatever way they're doing it. And in these groups, we're going to need little cells of campaigns of explanation, so you leaflet blocks the flats. You've got to get through to the people who are being conned. We need a local and national campaigns of using the alternative media. We've got to build our own alternative media. And we've got to take new actions forward, and I want to mention some great ones we've just been having. On Friday, around the country, there are lots of people having drink against the COVID crackdown. So, drink against the curfew. And we had one in Soho, which was brilliant. But I suggest you guys do that. Every Friday, every Saturday, 10 o'clock, go to your nearest pub and drink against the curfew. And there's other practical things. There's a lot of roadblocks being turning up all over the place because they believe the virus follows one-way systems, you see. So we should see these are attacks on our freedom of movement. So we should take down these things physically. Take down these monstrous roadblocks. I suggest that. And, well, we know that lockdowns are ludicrous. We know that they don't work because in the case of Sweden they had less deaths in their own figures. We know that distancing is daft. We know that masking is mad. And on the daftness of distancing, it's a fact that if you hug people, get close to people, you do improve your feeling, and that improves your immune system. So I'm going to recommend now you have a hug. It needs to be, of course, somebody in your family group who might be near you, officer. Okay, so have a hug against the COVID con now. Hug the person next to you with agreement, and I'm assuming they're all in your family group. So hug against the COVID con. Okay, everyone had a hug? Oh, here we are. Yeah. Are you feeling better? Fantastic. Right, and tracking. We know that tracking is a trick. Tracking is it's a trap. Tracking is a trap to increase the numbers of false positives. It's just a game. Don't do it. And vaccination, well, you've heard a lot about vaccination. Vaccination is completely to be opposed. All the COVID vax must be opposed. Because the only people who gain from the vaccination program are the mega rich who are going to profit from it, and you will suffer, because the facts are that people who have been vaccinated get their immune systems damaged and they suffer more deaths than those who haven't been vaccinated. All trials show that. So it's for stupid people or brainwashed people. Okay. And as a fact, the increased value of Bill Gates, Zuckerberg and Bezos over the last few months since lockdowns began has been £150 billion. That's 20 quid for every man, woman and child in the world. That is why they want to vaccinate you, because they're going to make money from it. And the assumption of all their investors is they're going to make money because their governments are going to hand your money to vaccinate you. It is evil, evil, evil. And we say stop all vax programs now! And in the name of science, fake science, what we're seeing actually is the mutilation of science. The mutilation of the evidence-based science which we're brought up to believe. And you know, if you look at tyrannies in the past, they had their various fake science theories which depended on them having no democracy. The Nazis had their master race. Stalin had a Lysenkoism, which was about plants and the like. But it was lies, and it was only enforceable because if people didn't agree in the Russian Academy of Sciences one afternoon, they wouldn't be there at the next meeting. It was terror. So terror held down democracy, and democracy and accountability are vital for science. When they turn science into a propaganda machine, they have to destroy democracy, and that is what they're doing now. And I would say, when it comes to conspiracy theories, all the conspiracies they were saying that we were announcing, like Bill Gates wants to vaccinate the world. No, Piers, that's a conspiracy theory. It's true, he says so. So we say, yesterday's conspiracy theory is today's truth. And there is no justification in any terms for any continuation of any of these anti-COVID measures. We want to end them all now. And when it comes to, is there an actual virus, a deadly virus or not? Well, we wrote to Boris and asked Bill Gates as well, could you give us evidence under the standard test that there is a virus? And you've got to find the virus, you've got to isolate the virus, then inject it into somebody or an animal, and if they get the symptoms, then you say you found the virus. But they haven't completed even number one. And the World Health Organization says, don't try and isolate the virus. What? Don't try and isolate it, but surely you need it to make a vaccine. Maybe. But then Imperial College and the Oxford University, who are shoveled in money from Bill Gates, says, oh, we found it, we found the virus. What have they found? Well, there's a bit echoey, isn't it? They say what they found is some sort of genomic sequence. Well, I have to say, that argument is bananas. Because it's a bit like an Agatha Christie novel, and here I have a banana. It's a plastic banana. You can't eat it. It's an Agatha Christie novel, and I'm asked to show evidence of a man in a room. So I look around, and I don't see anything, but I see a banana. And I say, well, there you are. A banana is 60% the DNA of a human, so there's a man in the room. That is the level of evidence. It is fake science, it's nonsense, it's lies, and we reject it absolutely. Okay, but where is all this going to go? Because, you know, there's a dark future if we lose. Now, I think there's three ways to go. One is we lose. We have a dystopian, new Nazified society run by the mega corporations, worldwide, local democracy, national democracy will mean nothing. It'll be like 1984, George Orwell's 1984. Or we can win.
Yes. And we will win!
Well, yes, we can win with the numbers, and we need the numbers. See, it's the numbers that count here, not me standing here, it's the numbers that count. But if we win, we're going to want something different. We're not going to want the corrupt institutions anymore. We're not going to want the conflicts of interest. The whole of the cabinet should be emptied because they've all got conflicts of interest. Half of Parliament should be emptied because they've got conflicts of interest. We say any future system must have no conflicts of interest whatsoever.
Exactly.
And the pay of these MPs, they're busy just increasing their wages. The pay of MPs, I should say, should be no greater than the average wage of the people they represent. And then we might get people who believe in democracy. Okay, so that's a possible future, right? But what about going back to what's in the middle way, i.e. the corrupt system we have now, just carry on like we were last year? I say that will never happen again. Because either that gets completely crushed into fascism, or we win. So it's a big choice before you, and you've got to convince masses more people, or we'll lose. It's unite or lose, fight, and we can win. Yeah, or less than 5 minutes. Okay. And on the question of unity, there will be, at this crucial time especially, attempts to divide us. Lies will be told, traitors will appear, everything will be done to disunite us. And I'm reminded of the Spanish Civil War. And my parents met over campaigning in the Spanish Civil War for the, to defend the people, good people. But the Spanish Civil War was lost because of this unity in the Labour movement. And now we have the Labour Party, the trade unions, trailing who they called far-right Boris Johnson. It is pathetic, totally pathetic.
Yeah, when I said, are you from Wales?
So those of you who are in the Labour Party or the trade unions, you have to go, there's a lot of people, the members of trade unions, I know. You have to demand they stand up. They do not accept this nonsense that the jobs are going to come back after furlough. The jobs are not coming back, they're gone. Okay, so the key message I would say from George Orwell, and there's his book 1984, In a society based on lies, speaking the truth is a revolutionary act. So we ought to end with a few chants, I think. Like, you see, what we're doing is saving lives. The government policy claims they're saving lives. No, they're actually killing people and making people more ill. The care homes are an utter disgrace. People have been left on the waiting list for well, ever. Is a disgrace. So we say, no lockdowns, save lives. Let's chant that. No lockdowns, save lives. No lockdowns, save lives. No lockdowns, save lives.
No lockdowns, save
Keep it up.
lives.
All right. And what about no masks or tracks, save lives? No masks or tracks, save lives. No masks or tracks, save lives. No masks or tracks, save lives. And of course, no vax whatsoever. Well, we said that already. But to remind you about the vaccination, there are cures. Hydrochloroquine and zinc can cure many things. Whatever people are catching might be an existing flu, who knows? But it is curable by hydrochloroquine and zinc. So there's no need whatsoever for any vaccine, except to make profit for Bill Gates of hell and his cronies. Okay, and the last point I'd make before the final end is the point about 5G. You see, 5G as a fact, and 4G and 3G, they do damage your immune systems. They do. And the statistics show where there's been 5G introduced first, the COVID so-called illnesses, which they've recorded, are worse. So there's a direct correlation. And also, the purpose of the 5G is to spy on you for total control. So when you walk in a shop, the 5G camera will recognise you straight away, and by the time you reach the desk, it will know about everything you owe, whether you owe the shop anything, and whether you're going to be allowed to get on the next bus. It is control, control, control. So I would say, we have a little chant, take down 5G, save lives. So, take down 5G, save lives. Take down 5G, save lives. Take down 5G, save lives. Oh, wait a minute. And in the great choice before us, between tyranny and freedom, we choose freedom!
Freedom! Come on, guys! Come on, guys!
Freedom, guys, freedom. It comes at a cost, though. Are you willing to pay that price?
I am.
How are we, guys? Piers, thank you so much. Elisa just wants to apologise. She didn't get the chance to edify you as much as we should, because obviously he came straight on. But what a guy, travelling the country in every single country, place, town around the UK, literally fighting for our freedom, guys. So what an amazing guy, and I'm super proud. Can we also have another cheer, please, because he was on time today? Yay! Okay, guys, so we're going to have a 5-minute break.